Hi everyone, and welcome to my first official YouTube video. Thank you very much to the EA Game Changers program for allowing me early access to the Sims 4 Nifty Knitting stuff pack. So in this video we are going to be building a sort of quite a stereotypical granny's home. This was a lot of fun to build, and I like trying new things with The Sims, and I feel like this stuff pack definitely encouraged me to try something different, especially with this house here. So it's just a one level. It's actually a 2-bedroom bungalow, because I thought it might be a nice idea if this grandma had her grandchildren over to stay. So you'll sort of see us going into that obviously when we get onto the interior of the build. So just sorting out the roofing here. This does change slightly nearer the end of the video. I do edit this roofing here because I thought it just didn't look quite right. So I often go back and tweak things, and we remove that second piece of roofing. But considering it's a small build, I really overthought this. Probably too much. But let's get on to the stuff pack. So again, thank you to EA for allowing me early access to this stuff pack. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely, like, this door here came with the stuff pack, which I think is really adorable. We didn't get any new windows, but I wasn't expecting that, especially from a stuff pack. And I do feel like the windows from base game and university work quite well with the sort of theme that we had going on here. So really cute build and buy items, adorable gameplay, which I think you saw you saw like a little snippet just at the start with the rocking chair and the knitting, and they can reminisce, and it's such a nice idea, and it's so refreshing that we've actually got stuff for elders now. I think it was such a nice idea. I don't think it's something that we've had before in the Sims franchise, so very refreshing to see. And you know, it's a great stuff pack, absolutely fantastic. I had a lot of fun making this house. I think it came out really cute. I tried to stay clear of the very stereotypical granny's house, but I think I fell into it, you know, with the sort of the pastel colours, the pinks, and the sort of soft feel that this has got to it. But you know, I think it turned out quite nicely, so I'm not too disappointed with it, and hopefully you won't be either. So I think in a moment we're moving on to the interior of the build, or I'm hoping we will be. Having said that, I always say this. I've just done another voiceover. Actually, I recorded, and I assumed that I would be posting that before this, until I realised that I'd used some items from the Nifty Knitting stuff pack in that build. So obviously I wasn't able to upload that on that day. So on that video I talk about how it's my first video, but actually it was in theory, but this will be the first one on my channel. Still doing the landscaping here because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and if you notice me sort of having a look to see what it looks like on the gallery shot, I do that a lot with my builds, just so I can find the right lighting and just make sure that the build is in shot, because I think we're quite restricted with the gallery screenshots really, and I just want to make it as good as it can be. So just adding some little details here. I do end up removing that sort of roof ornament there because I don't think it gives the right vibe, but we deal with the interior of the build before we do any of that. And I'm just experimenting with different things, sort of with the water feature there and things like that. We don't end up putting that in to the final build, but I thought this bench looked quite cute under that tree that came with cats and dogs, which is one of my all-time favourite trees. So finally moving on into the interior of the build. adding a few windows and making sure they're all the right height, because those windows are quite hard to sort of navigate around and see if they're at the right height as the other ones. I don't know whether that's just me or not, but this build doesn't have a lot of windows because it's not a very big build, but it doesn't need it. So we do like we do a very open plan kitchen living area, a double bedroom obviously for the grandma, and then like I said, the children's bedroom, which is the smaller bedroom. I wanted to try and fit 2 beds in there, but I just couldn't manage it without it looking cramped, so it's just got the 1 bed in there. So here are some of the new items from the stuff pack. So this is a sofa set. So we've got love seats, we've got a single chair, and we've got obviously the rocking chair, which is really fun to watch the Sims sort of rock back and forth in, and they can, as I said before, they can knit and reminisce, and it's just really sweet. It's just a really sweet idea. And obviously with the fireplace there too. I mean, you can't have a rocking chair and not have it in front of a fireplace. That's just kind of where it belongs. And I struggled a little bit here with the floor plan, trying to utilize the space as best I could. I could have potentially made the master bedroom a little bit smaller, but I think it turned out all right in the end. Yeah, I feel like the bathroom is a decent size, but the single bedroom, not so much. But the way that I figured it was, this grandma probably only has her grandchild over to stay, on rare occasions. So I thought it'll be okay. Just trying to figure out coffee tables. I mean, coffee tables in The Sims 4 are notorious for being a little bit too big. But this tiny living coffee table works perfectly in this room. It's maybe a little bit modern, but I feel like with houses like this, the base of it is sort of quite old-fashioned, but then there are certain elements to it that might have been updated at different times to the other thing. I just think it's sort of like a mix of different sort of eras of furniture, really, and that's what I wanted to try and bring into this build. So it's quite fun, it's quite colourful. It's not boring by any means, which is nice. But that door that came with this stuff pack has a really nice flower detailing on the inside. It's really, really cute. And that picture from Realm of Magic works really, really well in here, along with the curtains from Cats and Dogs as well. They look really, really cute. And I believe that standing clock is from the base game, and I can hand on heart say this is the first time I've ever used that clock. I've never used that clock before today when I was building this, and I used a really cute little sort of entry mat because nobody wants dirty shoes in the house, and I thought that sort of like little wooden flower pot might be kind of cute because her grandchild might have made it for her, so I thought that was a nice touch. So yeah, just again adding some little details. So we have used a fair amount of items from the new pack. I haven't gone mad with it, I don't think. A lot of the items, that item there is one of my favourites as well, the one that's just going on the wall now, and these little planters as well. A lot of the items are craftable, so I obviously use the item unlock cheat to be able to access them, and that bird box outside is just absolutely adorable as well. But yeah, I just thought, let's make it look lived in, let's make it look like this grandma spends a lot of time here. And the kitchen actually ended up being quite fun. I've never actually used the cooker that I end up using. I've never used before, and we end up changing the colour of the flooring, I believe, and the cabinets. And then I forgot that I'd forgotten to put a fridge in, which is something that I don't think I've ever done. But when I'm working in such a small space, obviously it just slipped my mind. So I do put it in, I promise. It does end up going in, but it was clearly an afterthought for some unknown reason, I don't know. Again, trying to make it look quite dated, lived in, homey. It's the kind of place that you would as a, if you were this woman's grandchild, you would want to go there and spend the day there, because it's just, I mean, I can just imagine myself baking in this kitchen and sitting by the fire afterwards with a cup of hot chocolate, it's that sort of thing. So that's what I was aiming for. There we go, there goes the fridge. I can't believe I forgot to put that in. Oh dear, oh well, we all make mistakes. Just like a little runner rug there. We've got the bread bin. I struggled with the wall swatches, but I ended up putting like this pink tile on, which I think actually works really, really nicely. But like I said, we do end up changing the colour of the cabinets eventually. And we also try something with sort of trying to section off the kitchen with some beams, but we end up scrapping that idea because it ended up making it look like quite cramped. And so for gameplay, I thought it's not going to work. So here we are. So this is me just sort of experimenting with the ceiling beams and the columns. But as I said, we do end up just completely ditching that. There we go. Oh, the power of editing. I didn't think anyone would want to see me take that off. So, but again, the tiny living rack with the oven gloves and the mugs on. Oh, it's just so perfect for this room, and the colour swatch matches that oven quite nicely as well. And again, going in with the Nifty Knitting sort of ornaments there as well. I think that looks quite cute. So, yep, just adding some plants. Again, got to make it look lived in, got to make it look homey. That's another lamp that I've never used. I think it's from base game again. Never used it, but and this carpet swatch in this living room as well. Never used this before either. So I feel like it's kind of encouraging me to use items and swatches of things that I would never have normally used in one of my sort of regular builds. So it's definitely a very cute pack. And now we're just going into the master bedroom. I had trouble at first figuring out which bed I wanted to use for this room, but I ended up just going with this base game one with the green swatch, because I thought, again, I wanted it to be unmatched. I wanted it to be a place that has collected memories over the years and was cozy and warm. We end up changing the swatch on the fireplace because I feel like the blue worked for a while, and then the more I looked at it, the more I realised that it just wasn't working. So we do end up changing that. I believe the rug stays the same, and I really had trouble figuring out what to put on the walls here, because I feel like with bedrooms it's quite, I mentioned this in my other video, it's quite difficult for me anyway, to decide what goes on the wall, what goes where, you know. I feel like there's a lot of empty wall space. I think looking back, I could have maybe utilised the space a bit better with a wardrobe or something like that. I do put a rocking chair in here as well, and I've just realised that light above the rocking chair is from Realm of Magic, and when it's on it has like a weird flame, so I feel like I might need to go back in and change that before I upload this to the gallery, because that's just going to be a bit strange. Or is that just me? I don't know. I'll go back in and put a regular light. It's been playing on my mind, so I'm definitely gonna have to sort that out. So in between shots there, I just play tested the build so far to make sure the sim could get round the bed near the fireplace. They can, it works, everything's perfect. And now we're moving on to the main bathroom of the house, again with the ugly pink tile and the hideous floor, and I just think it works so well with this sort of theme of build. I wanted it to be just a typical aged bathroom, and I think that's what we got. So the final bedroom of the house, as I said before, it is the children's bedroom. This does change slightly near the end. As I said before, I tried to get 2 beds in, it just wasn't gonna work. I play tested it, sim couldn't get through the door, so I had to scrap that idea and just keep 1 bed. Colour scheme wise, quite interestingly, I kind of thought that maybe this room has changed over the years as the grandchild has grown, so maybe when they were a toddler they stayed here and elements of that furniture have stayed within that room, and grandma hasn't quite figured out, you know, that the child might have outgrown some of these items, so it's very mismatched. It's very, again, lived in, and there's a bit of a story to it, because, you know, I just think, and that rug was quite a nice idea too, because I feel like grandma might have knitted that for them and for the room. It's quite a cute idea. Again, like a makeshift sort of old dining room table for the desk, and I again struggling with what to put on the walls here, but I just thought like posters that are maybe a bit too young for the child, and yeah. So quickly switching back to the outside, this is the roof that we changed at the front because it had been playing on my mind while I was doing the interior. It wasn't working for me, so I ended up completely changing it, and you'll see that here. There we go. Yeah, just tweaking things again to make sure it's all safe and sound, which it is, and we had some extra foliage outside just to finish the build off. There are screenshots at the end of the build if you want to stay tuned to watch them. This is available to download from the gallery under my Origin ID, which is RachelPedd. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!